What's going on, guys? I'm Chrissy Whispers, and welcome to the channel. Tonight, we're going to be talking about premium collection boxes, and not the Charizard UPC, not the Mew 151 UPC. We're not going to talk about those. Tonight, we're going to go back a little further than that. We're going to talk about the Jolteon, the Vaporeon, and the Flareon VMAX premium collection boxes. These premium collection boxes were released back in December of 2021 on the Pokemon Center website for an MSRP of just $39.99 plus shipping, limit of 4. And why do I bring these up? We talk about sealed investing all the time. Most of the time, it's about booster boxes or ETBs or even the 6-pack booster bundles. Those typically do pretty well, the booster bundles for the specialty sets. But tonight, we're going to talk about the collection boxes for 2 reasons. 1, promo cards. 2, grading those promo cards. Recently, I watched a video that Nostalgia Nomics posted where he interviewed, not Shivam? I'm pretty sure it's Shivam. I'm not familiar with Shiv. I'd never really watched his content. Didn't even know who he was until I watched that interview. And he was talking about how the churn and burn and, or say the bulk or the flipping sealed product, like the churn and burn process and aspect of making money in this hobby really isn't for everybody because, people just have different schedules and stuff like that. And it made me think about what I want to do because for me, honestly, I don't have the time to do the whole bulk operation. I work too hard. I'm in heavy construction. I work a hard 40 hours every week. That's without overtime. So when I come home from work, I don't want to sit and sort cards for 4 hours. And that's only just a sorting process. That's not even the listing. That's only like a third of the work for pennies. It's a great model. If you have time, if you have the inventory, you could really make some money doing the bulk operation. I've been thinking about it. For somebody that has less time with me, maybe I should get more into grading. I did a video a couple months back about how I was going to send in my first submission. I bought the whole centering tool. I bought a magnifying glass. I bought all this stuff. I looked at all these cards, and then I completely pussied out, and I never even sent the submission to PSA because I didn't want to get involved with grading. But after I watched this podcast / interview, whatever you want to call it, Shiv made a good point. You could do less work grading cards for bigger margins, less time. It was very appealing to me. So I had started getting into looking at cards to grade and, things like that. And one of the first things I thought of were these EV Evolution VMAX collection boxes. I'm going to flip the camera around. I'm going to show you some numbers from TCG Player and TCG Fish, and I'm gonna just kind of tell you where my head has been, and starting to grade some cards, and why some of these sealed collection boxes and why they've become so expensive. Because a lot of times people will say, "Oh, that box is only a $40 box. Why is it $120? It's only like 2-3 years old. Why is it $150? So I'm gonna flip the camera around. I'm gonna take you through some stuff, and we're just going to take a look at, maybe some possible grading plays, some stuff to think about for future buying of collection boxes and grading cards. We're going to take a look. So this is the Pokemon Center website. These are the boxes I'm talking about. $39.99, limit of 4, obviously out of stock. Let's get rid of that. So right on TCG Player, you can look for these boxes. You could just search them: Jolteon VMAX Premium Collection. You have the Flareon, and you have the Vaporeon. Vaporeon's at 150, the Flareon's at 120, and the Jolteon's at 135. Let's take a look at why these have become so expensive in really quite a short period of time. So the promo cards. Forget about the packs, forget about the jumbo card. Let's just look at the 2 promo cards in each of these boxes. This is the first one. It's only a $30 card near mint if you buy it off direct. Lowest listing for a new seller is going to be about $25 plus shipping. We're going to go to TCG Fish. If you don't know what TCG Fish is, it's a website created by, I want to say this guy, I think it's Sean Bassick. I think he's behind, or at least part of what's behind this website. And what it does is it breaks down how many PSA cards have been graded here. PSA, BGS, CGC. But over here, it tends to really just show the PSA, I guess, because that's really the bigger market, more cards graded through PSA. It will tell you, it gives you a little collectability score, which will tell you the popularity of the card, the liquidity of the card, the affordability, the difficulty grading it, and whether or not it's vintage. Now, clearly, this is a new card, so the vintage, it's way in on the inside. If you don't know how to read one of these charts, I guess play more video games. You'll learn how to read one of these charts. We're only going to look at 10s. We'll look at 9s too. So, what can we learn by looking at TCG Fish? Well, we could learn that there's been a total of 3,100 cards graded of this specific card. It has a 28% chance to get a 10, which means if you look over here, the PSA 10, the PSA 9, if you add all these up, 28% makes up 10s. Now, that doesn't mean there's a 28% chance of you getting a 10 because you can't just take any old card, Jolteon V full art, send it in, and you don't have a 28% chance of getting a 10. That's not how this works. You need to really, of the cards that have been graded, 28% of them have been graded a 10. Now, let's take a look at the price of this card being sold as a 10. Now, this website also compiles sales from eBay, and it breaks it all down right here for you. Let's look at the past 3 months. If we look at the last 3 months of this card, it's been going way up. Now, admittedly, it's a harder card to grade. It's probably not the easiest. That's why it's receiving such a low PSA 10 rate. But if you hit this thing on a 10, it's currently selling for over 300 bucks. Admittedly, this isn't the most accurate sales history. If you go over to eBay, you will get, and you go to sold listings, you will get a better look at sales. It's selling for well over 300 bucks if you hit the 10. Now, if you hit the 9, not so much. Major drop off. 35 bucks, 23 bucks, 60 bucks, 50 bucks. Very small margin, if at all. But if you're a good pre-grader and you can hit this card on a 10, you will literally like 10x your money. But you have to be, it's a riskier move. Let's look at the next Jolteon. This is the Jolteon VMAX. It's a $40 card. We go down here. Cheapest sale by not the most reputable seller. No offense, Mr. Mallet. $32. Call it 34 bucks with shipping. You go over to TCG Fish. This card has a little bit better chance of hitting a 10 if you're good at pre-grading. 4,200 cards have been graded. 47% of those have hit a 10. Now, if we look at the chart, bring it down to 3 months. The 9s, again, not so hot. 45, 41, 41, 42. The 10s are selling in the 200s, almost 200 bucks. Let's go confirm that on eBay. We'll take a look at eBay. Confirmed. 200 bucks, well over 200 bucks. I don't know what that is. That's crazy. This card is crazy expensive in Japanese. But anyways, back to English. Over 200 bucks, over 200 bucks. So there's an argument to be made that if you can get a good look at these promo cards while they're still in the box, like if you could buy these boxes in person and get a good look at the cards, I know you can't see the back, but if you can get a good visual of the front and you think the front has a pretty good chance of hitting a 10, these boxes are worth $135 easy. Given you hit a 9 on both of them, you better hope you pull something out of the packs. But if you are a good grader or a good pre-grader, there are some pretty big margins. High risk, granted, but there are some pretty big margins in grading these two cards. Let's take a look at the Flareon. The Flareon is at 120 for the sealed box over on TCG Player. The Flareon V, near mint, cheapest sale, 32 bucks, shipping included. Take a look at the VMAX right away. Mr. Mallet, again, I'm sorry, I'm not picking on you. Cheapest seller, 28 bucks. Take a look at TCG Fish. The Full Art V, the Flareon, pretty similar to the Jolteon. Less than sub 30%, 10 grade. Only 845 of them, over 2,000 on the 9s. When we look at the grading chart, we will confirm with eBay. The 10s are selling for almost 500 bucks. 9s are selling for less, so you'll lose a couple. You will definitely lose the grading fees if you hit the 9, like the Jolteon. But if you hit the 10, it's a pretty big number, 490 bucks. Let's go confirm on eBay. Those sales on TCG Fish, little skewed. Maybe it's not up to date. I'm not sure, but they're still selling for over 300 bucks, 350, 375, 350, 300. Couple 500 down here for okay. So there are some of the sales are that big. You hit a 10 on this card, you're making some premium dollars, and that's only one of the two. Let's go take a look at the other Flareon, the VMAX. Okay, so this is the VMAX. Again, with all these cards, the popularity, the liquidity, and the affordability are all way up. Very similar to the Jolteon VMAX, just below 50%. We check the sales. I don't know what this 8.5 is about. $45, $45. So again, you're probably going to lose the grading fee. Might lose a little bit on the fees if you hit the 9, but if you hit the 10, you're looking at sales over $200. Let's go confirm. Confirm sales. 180 at auction, 200, 202. So pretty good. You hit the 9, you're going to get shafted, but if you hit the 10, you're looking at some pretty good money here. Let's take a look at the Vaporeon. This is the box, 150. It is the most expensive of the 3 boxes. The prices of the 10s will reflect the difference in the prices on these. So the Vaporeon V, near mint copy, lowest listing, $24. And the VMAX, near mint, lowest listing. Mr. Mallet again. Shout out Mr. Mallet. If somebody buy this guy's cards, he's got the cheapest price on everything. This guy's going to be somebody. $34. I'm not making fun. Mr. Mallet, if you're out there, this is how you get your sales up. You're doing the right thing. $34. TCG Fish, the Vaporeon Full Art, same numbers, very similar. Popularity, liquidity, and affordability, way up. The PSA 10 chance, again, sub 30%. Take a look at the sales. $400, $400, $450, $420. Let's go confirm on eBay. Confirm sales over $400, $410. Confirm sales over $400, $430, $450. Japanese, $410. This, you hit the 10 on this card, again, you're sitting pretty. Honestly, you're looking pretty good if you hit the 10 on this. The 9, however, let's take a look. $70, $50, $40. You're pretty much dead in the water if you hit the 9. And we will take a final look at the VMAX. Again, just under 50%. Popularity, liquidity, and affordability way up. And if you hit the 10, what are we looking at? 250, 200, 300. Let's go confirm. Confirmed. $220. Confirmed. Over $200. 270. Sub 300 or best offer accepted. Again, sub 300. 250. You hit the 10 on this card. Once again, you're sitting pretty. Now, is it worth taking a shot? Is it worth buying the boxes and trying to pull these cards? Realistically, no. If you're going to make a play on grading these cards, you should be sourcing the singles. If you go to card shows, card conventions, try to source the cards there so you can see the front and the back if you're looking to make a grading play on these. Now, what TCG Fish is providing us with this information, we know that they're not the easiest cards to grade. There are more easy cards to grade out there. However, they're $40 cards selling for $400, $30 cards selling for almost $400. So that's why those cards are so expensive in the PSA 10, because they are hard to grade. So if you're somebody who has a pretty high risk tolerance and you don't mind hitting the 9, if you're good at grading and you're grading enough 10s that the 9s don't matter, then this could be a play for you. This video might not be for you at all. All this video is really about is showing you the steps of how to figure out what cards are worth grading. These cards are worth grading if you hit the 10. You don't hit the 10 and you hit the 9, you're dead in the water. You better hit some 10s to make up for the losses that you're going to get on the 9s. Just get as much information as you can. See what it sells in a 9, see what it sells in a 10. See if there are cards that you will still make a profit on a 9. You can find those cards. Those are the cards you really want to go for, because now you don't even have to be the best pre-grader. You can hit a 9 or a 10 and still make some money. Even if you're just breaking even on the 9s, you're doing pretty good because you're still moving the cards. You're building sales on your eBay account. So I just wanted to do this video. I've been looking at cards, trying to figure out what I want to start grading, and these boxes came to mind. It made me wonder why the boxes were so expensive. Started looking into what the PSA 10s were going for in these graded cards. Started looking to see what packs are in these boxes. These are all things that you got to kind of have to look at and spend the time doing your research on before you just start buying up cards. I wouldn't source these cards off of TCG Player. For the most part, you can't see what they are unless they have pictures. Most people don't do that. So really, eBay and card shows and card shops are going to be your best way to really try to pre-grade some of these low percent chance PSA 10 cards. Cards that have a higher PSA 10 chance, you could bulk buy really from TCG Player, and then you could just kind of flip the ungradable singles back onto the market, take a small loss, and make the money on your 10s. That'll wash out the losses. If you found this scatterbrain process helpful to you, let me know what you guys think down in the comment. Let me know if you guys do any grading. How do you pre-grade? Where do you do your research? And I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by.